Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Christina from the Glaser Tutoring Company, and today we are going to solve a system of equations by the substitution method. So we have two linear equations here, and we need to find the solution, right? We need to solve this. So basically, what we're doing is these linear equations are going to cross paths at some time in their life, right? And I know that it's linear, by the way, because I don't see any x squared values and I don't see any y squared or y cubed. It's just one x and one y value. Now, at some point, these lines will cross paths, and the crossing is the solution. Basically, you want to solve for that one point in which these two lines communicate with each other or they interact with each other. So that's all that we're doing here. That's what it means to solve. So when they say solve a system of equation, you're looking for your point, right? Your x comma y point that these two lines interact at or intersect at. Now we have to do the substitution method. Now the substitution method is, one of the ways that you could solve system of equations. And the easiest way, or what we have to do, is we have to turn one of these equations into either 1x equals, so we're going to say we're going to turn one of them into x equals, or we're going to turn it into y equals. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it does not matter which one out of these four variables you change into. I could have changed this 3x into x equals, 2y equals, turns it into y equals, and the same for these. But there are little tips and tricks, right, that I can tell you guys. The first thing is that always make it easy for yourself, right? If you see that you just have like an x minus 2y equals 18, I'm going straight for that x, right? If you see that you have one variable that has just a 1 in front of it, that's the one that I'm going to be solving for and, using that value. But in this case, I don't have that, right? I have all coefficients, or I guess not coefficients, right? Is it coefficients? I've been in chemistry land for too long. And by the way, guys, we have chem videos. We have a whole year of chemistry on the channel. We have a whole year of physics on the channel as well, if you guys are taking chem or physics. But anyway, back to this. I don't see that I have, 1x or 1y. So let's just try to make it easy for ourselves and pick the equation that basically have all numbers that are in common with each other. So for example, 3, 2, and 18, I can't really divide all three of those numbers by a single number, right? But if I look at the bottom one, 5, 10, and 10, that seems like it's a little bit easier to work with. Now, lower numbers are key, I say. So in this case, I'm going to be solving with this guy. So I'm going to turn this 5x into an x equal in this case. So let's do that. So we're going to take, maybe we'll say that this is equation 1, and we're going to take this as equation 2. So in this case, we're going to take equation number 2 and convert it into x equals. So we have 5x plus 10y equals negative 10. So the first thing is, if you want to get x equals, you got to get all the other stuff on the other side. So what I'm going to do, what happened there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract by 10y on both sides. And the 10y cancels out here. You add these two up. And let's see what we get. So we get 5x equals negative 10 minus 10y. Maybe I'll just bring this over a little bit. Okay, last thing we got to do, we still need to get it x equals. That means that I need 1x. So I'm going to take that 5 and divide it by 5 on both sides. Okay, so now we have x equals. Now, we can do the division for both of them, right? Technically, this is negative 10 divided by 5 minus 10y over 5. So just simplify the both of them. So negative 10 divided by 5 is 2. So I can say that this is x equals -2 minus, same thing again, 10 divided by 5 is 2. And there you go. So now I have my x equals, and in this case it equals -2 minus 2y. So that's the first step. Now, if you used equation 2 to get x equals or y equals, you can't use it again for the next step. You have to use the other equation, or else the system, the solution is not going to work out. So since I used equation 2, I'm now going to use equation 1. And I'm just going to write it out. So 3x minus 2y equals 18. And here comes the substitution part. Whatever you solved for, x, go find it. In this case, here it is. I'm going to take the x value and remove it. You're substituting. It's kind of like a substitute teacher. You're taking this out and putting in this. Now keep in mind the 3 is times by the whole value. So when we substitute, here we go, it's going to be 3 times the whole thing. So it's going to be 3 times the whole, -2 minus 2y. And that is the substitution. So you're subbing out the x value for what we had. And now we just keep it going. Minus 2y, this is the rest of the equation, and this is all going to equal 18. So now we just do our PEMDAS rules, right? Seems like we got a little distributing going on here. So 3 times -2 is a -6. 3 times a -2 again is a -6y. Minus 2y equals 18. Let's combine like terms. Gotta love PEMDAS. -6 minus 8y equals 18. Let's get that y by itself, plus 6 on both sides, plus 6 on both sides. This cancels out. And let's see what we get. We have a -8y equals 18 plus 6. What is that, 24? Right? 2 would get you up to 20, and then you got 4 remaining. Yep. So can I actually just bring this up a tad? There we go. And finally, let's divide on both sides by the -8. Because now we finally have gotten the y value. In this case, my y equals a -3. Okay, half of the piece of the puzzle done. So I know that in my ordered pair, or my point, or my xy coordinate, the y is going to be a -3. Now the next part is you can use any equation. We could go back to equation 1, or we can go back to equation 2 to solve for the x value now that you know that you have the y value. And this time, just make it easy for yourself. Whichever one looks easier for you to work with. Maybe this one, because it's got lower numbers for the x's and the y's. So let's go back to that. So we're going to say equation 1. And we have 3x minus 2y equals 18. And we're just going to plug in the y value, which we just found out was -3. So 3x minus 2 times that -3 equals 18. And now 3x plus 6. -2 times a -3 is a plus 6 equals 18. Let's get rid of that 6 on both sides. Okay. We are almost there. 3x equals 18 minus 6 is a 12er. And finally, let's divide by 3. And then x equals 12 divided by 3 is 4. And we found the x coordinate. So we have the x coordinate, we got the y coordinate, so we got the ordered pair, and that's the solution. Right? This y, or this x, is 4. So our solution is 4, -3. And you're done. I don't like that 3. That's okay. Anyway, there we go. So that is the solution. That's the point in which those two lines intersect, and that's it. What'd you think? I hope this helped. Thank you so much for viewing the video. We got more substitution equations or more substitution videos with, different problems that you could try out. So if you guys are on the playlist, which I highly recommend you guys are, it will take you to that lesson in less than, 7 seconds, for as long as I'm talking, right? So thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys rock. Good luck on your tests and quizzes, and I'll see you in a little bit, okay? All right, bye-bye.